Loop 10. Unbearable. Saul drove to his home at around 8 p.m. He parked my car near the front door, turned off the engine, and opened the door. I hurriedly opened the door. When I got out of the car, Saul threw the car key over to me. It was so quick that I barely caught it with my hand. I looked at the beautiful house that I had recently visited. Saul led me through the small door to the front door. I became more nervous when Tal's mother opened the door and saw me. Oh, Nam Tin! Aunt Pang had a shocked expression on her face. How did you get here? I raised my hand to why Tal's mother, or to put it simply, she's also my mother. Why means traditional Thai greeting. Hello, Aunt Pang. Aunt Pang smiles widely, and she turned to Tal. You two come together? I was going to open my mouth to answer, but Tal answered before me. Ethan is not feeling well. Can I use the guest room, Mom? The guest bedroom? The water pipe in the bathroom broke and the air conditioner was just taken off. The technician will come and fix it tomorrow. Aunt Pang looked at me with worried eyes. Come in first, Tin. When did you leave the hospital? This morning, I replied. I was not able to visit you at all. Yesterday I flew to the province and just got back. I'm sorry. Aunt Pang walked by and touched my back and took me inside the house. You have received a visiting gift from Tall, right? What did Tall buy for you, Tin? Yes, I smiled widely. I got a big bird's nest basket. Aunt Pang laughs. I told him to buy some fruits. I guess he might be too lazy to choose, right, son? She turned to tease her son, who was putting his shoes in the drawer. Tall did not answer about the bird's nest basket. His face looked worried about something. The guest room is broken? Yes. Well then, can Tin sleep with Tall first? You did not tell me in advance, so I didn't rush the technician to fix it. I'll bring more pillows and blankets for you. Aunt Pang quickly turned around and went up to the second floor, leaving me and Tall to stand there stunned for a moment, before gradually turning to look at each other slowly. Tall, Titin. Tall and I spoke at the same time, but I kept quiet and let him speak first. Tall pointed at me. If anything happens, I will tell Mom. I secretly smiled. Bringing me to sleep at home is actually your idea. But you didn't think we had to sleep together, right? Who would have thought that? Tall slammed the shoe drawer loudly. You sleep in the bed. I'll sleep in the sofa downstairs. If you sleep downstairs, you won't be able to ask me. I think I'm the one holding the cards. Don't you want to know what I am? Tall looked at me, with his eyes widening again. He must have been weighed between knowing the truth and the risk of sexual harassment. I think I have to say something so that Tal will trust me more. I will be the one who sleeps on the floor. You sleep on the bed as usual. Thank you for giving me a rest. If you let me drive back home, I'd probably end up as a patient in the emergency room. Tal looked at me with eyes that I couldn't read before leading me to the stairs. Follow me. Tal's bedroom can be classified as spacious enough. There are quite many things in the room, but they are all stored neatly. I expect it to be done by Aunt Pang, as Tal himself barely comes back to sleep at home. Tal put the bag on the chair and then turned around to look at the new pillows and blankets that were placed on the bed. I saw the picture frames lined up on the wall shelf. There were pictures of Tal in a football uniform, photos with his team, and his childhood portrait, probably 4 or 5 years old. His beautiful round eyes with an innocent look, and his hair was cut in a bowl cut style. Tal's child face reminds me of a girl rather than a boy. Titin, Tal called me, which made me have to take my eyes off his childhood photo to look at the same person in the version of 20 years later. Tal now becomes a handsome man, but still has his sweet side just like when he was a kid. making it cuter to me. Is there anything you want to tell me? Oh, is this you? I pointed to a photo of Tall as a child. You're cute, but looking at you now. I looked at him from head to toe. Much cuter. Tall's hand was on the edge of the chair, getting more clenched. I guess if I play more jokes, that chair is definitely going to fly to my face. Why don't you tell me exactly what this is all about? I shifted my gaze to look at Tall in the photo with his football team. His face was filled with happiness. It made me wonder one thing. How sad would he be to know that he could no longer play the sport that he loved? Have you ever had to watch someone die right in front of your eyes? Tall's eyes looked at me. Never, because I'm not a doctor like you. Yes, you're right. Because I'm a doctor in an emergency room, I have seen many people die in front of me. I turned to smile sadly at Tall. But there was one time when the death of a patient changed my life. It forced me to watch that person die in front of me repeatedly. I always tell myself that this has to stop. That person must not die. Then I can get out of this endless loop. Memories of the days when Tall was covered with blood over his face, the sight of Tall falling over, even though I stopped him from riding, the picture of me holding the defibrillator pad and using it to make Tall's heart beat on its own, the picture of him getting his heart pumping in the CCU ward brought tears to my eyes. Tall that is now standing right in front of me is perfectly healthy, with no sign of his death in the coming days. I can't bear to see you die in front of me anymore. Tall was stunned. His mouth was open as if he wanted to say something, but he didn't. He closed his eyes and looked at the floor before glancing up at me. His expression was extremely dazed and confused. But I'm not dead yet. I raised the back of my hand, rubbed my nose, and took a deep breath. I know that you think that I'm crazy. Even if I tell you the truth, you wouldn't believe me. Therefore, one thing that you have to know is everything I did, I wish you well. I want nothing to happen to you. I lifted my hand and hit my chest. My voice started to shake. Because I like you. I like you very much. If anything happens to you, my heart can't take it anymore. Doll had an expression like he couldn't say anything. I took 2 steps back, trying to get my sanity back. What's wrong with you, Tin? Play some vulgar jokes to him and keep flirting. You have all night to stay with him, right? Then why do I feel like my chest is on fire with tiredness and disappointment that had accumulated since the first loop? Why did it have to spill over now? I should have been more patient. Why? I think I should go back now. I pointed out towards the front of the house. I'm fine now. Please say goodbye to your mother for me. I turned around and walked hurriedly to the door of the room. Then I felt the hand of the person behind me grab my wrist, which made me stop. I slowly turned around. Tall was grabbing my wrist. His expression looked startled. Don't drive, Tall said to me. What happened now is like when I tried to stop Tall from driving, but we switched roles. You used to stop me from driving. I didn't listen and I died. This time, you have to listen to me. End of Loop 10, Unbearable.